Hey, so for those of you who didn't believe that the NFL Network not showing the last Raiders video from Las Vegas was because they didn't want to show it, here's more proof because Rich Eisen once again blasted the Oakland Raiders promoting Las Vegas even though they're not in Las Vegas. And specifically mentioned, as he called it, this Twitter battle he's having with, he says, the Raiders on this matter. So, for those of you who sent me a tweet trying to say it was a technical issue when I pointed it out, the video was playing in the background, all right? Here's proof that it was not a technical issue at all. And this was simply their refusal to go along with the Raiders dissing Oakland for Las Vegas.
Here. By the way, I've been battling with people with the Raiders on Twitter, even though I don't really like to mention that sort of stuff, or battle, because life's too short. Earlier, I mentioned how, the Raiders picks were being read from the Las Vegas sign. Yeah. And I said, you know what, it's tough to look at, so let's not look at it. But by the way, if the truck said, let's take a look at it, I'd throw to it. I was only saying that just because it's tough for Oakland fans to lose their team and then to see, well, they're from Las Vegas. I love Las Vegas. Let me rephrase that. I love Las Vegas. So, as for the Raiders, though, I mean, they are, for a team that's leaving town. Honestly, when have we seen a team saying, we're leaving town, but we're sticking around for 2 years? And the Raider fans in Oakland have somebody in Marshawn Lynch raise his hand saying, I am Mr. East Bay. I'm coming back to play. It's a dream. I want to do it, and I'm going to do it to win going out the door. Derek Carr's coming back. Amari Cooper's there.
You see the point? So, Rich is right. I mean, Oakland has the best fan base in the NFL next to the Dallas Cowboys. And we had a plan for a new stadium in a better region than Vegas. And the bottom line is the Raiders should wait until they complete their stadium deal in Vegas because they don't have one. They don't own the land. And in fact, if they buy the land, they have to give it up to the stadium authority. So for the Raiders to basically promote Vegas this way is really just beyond the pale. And then they had an event at the Fox Theater in downtown Oakland on draft day and didn't promote that. So if you didn't know that and you watched either ESPN or the NFL Network, you'd have had no idea that anything was going on in Oakland related to the Raiders. And that's the Raiders' fault. So the city of Oakland has not been so bad to the Raiders that the city has to be treated that way, or Raider fans, for that matter, most importantly, in here. So, no, that was completely ridiculous. And I wanted to capture it because, again, some of you on Twitter, not you, but some people on Twitter were sending me other tweets saying, oh, it wasn't shown because it was a technical issue. There was no technical issue, folks. It was not a technical issue. It is exemplary of an internal battle the NFL is having with the Raiders and owners that approved that move or that attempted move. And this is coming out. There are a lot of people within the league who do not like the move, period. And it's not a matter of hating Las Vegas. It's a matter simply of anybody who assumes that's ridiculous. But the bottom line is, it was wrong to do. And they've handled it incorrectly. And if the deal falls apart, and there are a number of indications that it can, then the Raiders will look even worse for having, promoted this stuff, okay? So I mean, why? Why do that, right? So that's my point. Okay. And yeah, Golden State Raider, I think the stadium deal is going to fall apart. I really do. And for the two reasons, basically, you've got no, Golden State Raider, you keep saying Oakland isn't innocent. Oakland actually is, in a sense, innocent because the Raiders have not come to the city of Oakland the entire history I've been there and openly expressed the desire to build a new stadium. They've whined about the current lease situation. Excuse me while I clean this off because my hand was on it. They've whined about the lease situation. They've made threats to move, but They have not. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Golden State Warriors. Well, Barry Lee, I'm saying that the city of Oakland really is. I'm going to defend the city for once. Somebody has to, because I've heard enough of it. And the bottom line is the city actually did have a plan, but it's for the Raiders to come up and say, "Hey, look, here's an architect. We've developed a plan, and here's what we want, and here's how much it's going to cost to build it, and here's the negotiations," like the Oakland A's are doing, right? The Raiders have never done that. It's not for the city, it's not for the city to tell the team what kind of stadium it's supposed to have. It's the team is supposed to say to the city, "This is what we need. How can you help us?" The Raiders have not done that. And even Commissioner Goodell pointed out to me on video last year that the Raiders deserve part of the blame for their not having a stadium in Oakland. Okay? So what the Raiders are doing, how they handle this, is just completely awful. It's bad. It's like they're consistently thumbing their noses at the current season ticket base as if they don't matter. And I'm glad Rich Eisen took a stand. He did it not once, but twice on this telecast. Tom Hanks has taken a stand. Tom Hanks has said that he's going to not be a fan. And at some point, it may be money that's involved, but money is the root of all evil. And at some point, good people have to stop and say, you know what? Do what's right. You have a fan base that supports you in the Bay Area, in Oakland. They pay money for those season tickets. You don't know how Vegas is going to respond. You got a $750 million subsidy, not from the voters, because the voters were allowed to be the ones that put thumbs up or thumbs down on that $750 million subsidy. They'd have done that. You and I both know it. JT the Brick knows it. Everybody knows it. Sheldon Adelson bought lobbyists. He made deals with these part-time legislators in Las Vegas. They're Republican. Now, guess what? They're out of office. They have a Democratic legislature in Nevada. Okay, you think that they're going to basically go around and be happy the minute they turn around and realize this thing is going to cost them $3 billion when all is said and done? Okay, of course not. They're not ready for it. They're not ready for it. The Raiders can't handle it. As the owner of the Dolphins told me just a month ago, the Raiders do not have the deep pockets to do what they're trying to do. So they're basically trying to rob Peter to pay Paul. And they're going to try to share a stadium with University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and they're going to pay Bank of America a gigantic loan. And they don't even want to, in their lease agreement, share revenue with anybody. They don't want to share revenue with the A's. So, come on. Right, and then, as Golden State Raider points out, no rent. So this insanity has gone far enough. It's ridiculous. See people dumping their season tickets left and right. But for the city to turn around and allow itself to be insulted this way, no. And it's good that somebody like a Rich Eisen came up and said what he did. And I'm glad for him to be battling on Twitter as he says he's battling. I didn't intend to do this live stream. I just wanted to get this in because I want to go back to catch Mr. Irrelevant, but I wanted to get this in and get it marked and out there so that it's seen, because people need to see that. Okay, and I don't care that Barry Lee says Jerry Jones ought to be trying to keep the Raiders in Oakland. All right, not trying to put them in Las Vegas. If he really cares about his fan base in Texas, then help Mark, or talk some sense into Mark to keep the Raiders in Oakland. This is ridiculous. And people should be concerned that Roger Goodell is not being allowed to be commissioner. He's being pulled this way and that by owners who are leading the league in directions that I think are questionable. This is one of them. Roger Goodell does not want the Raiders out of Oakland. He has said that repeatedly. This is an owner thing. So anyway, I'm gone. I got to get back to the telecast. Thank you, everybody. I'll be back later. Thanks.